But since it's so hard to pin down um, the ideas behind it, basically, a lot of people speculate whether Lao Tzu even wrote it. But my favorite little
Mhm.
piece of history regarding Lao Tzu writing it is that he was very frustrated, apparently, with the way that Chinese culture was going. So he wanted to go into exile. And as he
Mhm.
was leaving China through the Western gates, the
Mhm.
gatekeeper, Yin Si, stopped him because he recognized him as a philosopher.
Mhm.
That guy, that gatekeeper, asked Lao Tzu to write a book for him before he left. Lao
Mhm.
Tzu wrote the Tao Te Ching sitting on a rock. When he
Mhm.
finished writing, he up and left. And
Yeah.
it's assumed the gatekeeper distributed the Tao Te Ching.
Mhm.
But I think that's a bit romanticized, but it does sound
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. That's pretty much the story, Like and but the thing is, a lot of scholars, just like a lot of these like sagacious, something like that, like text, they speculate that it, first of all, was Lao Tzu actually a person. One of the guys that I listened to thinks he was, and that like and that he wrote some of it, but maybe not all of it, and that he had disciples that kind of recorded kind of some of the stuff he said,
Uh-huh.
you know. So, and he's actually, it's kind of interesting because people say that that Lao Tzu, another name for Lao Tzu is Lao Dan, and Dan. First of all, Lao means old. So when you say Lao Tzu, you're saying the old master.
Yeah, which is very
Yeah.
vague as a
Yeah,
name.
and so the other name for him is Lao Dan, which is usually a more like religious name for him because in like Taoism, there's two types of Taoism. There's the strict philosophy, but then there's actually a whole full-blown religion with like fairies and like gods and stuff
Yeah,
too.
because the Tang Dynasty established it as the state religion, right?
I'm not really sure
I
actually.
think I read that they were like, we're going to use this as our religion during this era.
I thought that was Buddhism, but
I think Buddhism
I'm
came
not really
after.
sure. Because like I think Buddhism also came to Japan during that time as well. That's kind of why I was thinking that way. But I probably am wrong because like I don't pay attention to that very much. But like yeah, like Lao Dan is an interesting name because just hearing the Dan, like there, Dan is like a really weird character because it's written with an ear particle on the side and then it has a ran, which is like it usually, like if you say ran ran, it's like smoke kind of wisping along going up and whatnot, and so it's just being used as like a phonetic thing, like to
Interesting.
make the character. But the main part of this character is the arzipang, which is means ear. So actually, like they call him Lao Dan because he was born with like really big ears apparently, like overly, and that's actually a lot of times what you'll see the statue of him. It's like his
I
ears
saw that today. It's
are
this
really
huge
big.
eared statue. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, like the guy that I was listening to said that Lao Tzu actually was born like an albino, and he had like really big ears. He was like a really strange looking guy actually. So like or let's say unique. He was a unique fellow. Like so like he might have been kind of an outcast in the very beginning of his life,
Uh huh.
So that might also kind of have kind of pushed him to just kind of, well, pushed him to reflect inside more. But anyway, like yeah, that's kind of like the story of the you know the birth of the Tao Te Ching, and a little bit about Lao Tzu.